What's up, guys, and welcome to the Nani No Anime Podcast, a weekly podcast where I get together with my boy SeeOhKnee, and sometimes we have guests, but today we don't have a guest because ain't nobody responded to my goddamn Twitter. But we are here to talk about anime because it's a weekly anime podcast, and we're going to be talking about all kinds of stuff, including some Genshin Impact, baby.
Genshin Impact. Ooh.
Because me and SeeOhKnee are hopelessly addicted. How you doing, SeeOhKnee?
Not too bad, man. It's been quite an active, busy day. Kind of been doing a lot of research on Genshin and seeing how I can min-max, all that kind of stuff. But we'll get into that later.
So this is an anime podcast. So I know people are like, game, what do you mean? We are both hopelessly addicted to Genshin Impact, which is very anime-esque, basically Breath of the Waifus, if you ever played Breath of the Wild. But it also has a manga, which I looked up right before this episode. The artwork looks gorgeous, by the way. I'm totally reading this manga. I might actually make videos on it. There's currently 13 chapters, but here's what's crazy, see. The 13th chapter dropped on January 3rd of this year. So this manga has actually been around since, let me go to chapter 1 here, November 23rd, 2018.
2 years. Wow.
Yeah. So this has actually been a manga for a while, and now the game is out and has set the world on fire. Massive Twitch streamers are playing it. Pokimane was streaming it. Myth was streaming it. Other big, massive YouTubers and influencers have been playing it. It's honestly probably one of the first gacha games to become mainstream in a way.
Yeah, true. I mean, I can't remember any other really gacha game that has done.
I haven't played any before.
What Genshin's doing right now?
No, it's wild. It's such an interesting, like, it's so weird to see because the game is amazing. And it's one of those things where I feel like video games has gone into this weird, like, I feel like, how do I even explain it? Like, I feel like games has taken a turn. Like, I feel like the past few years, it was the game was popular and then the influencers played the popular game. But now I feel like it's the opposite. I feel like the influencers are what is making games popular. Like, I think about in terms of Fall Guys shows up, a bunch of people start streaming it, it blows up, right? Then you have Among Us, which is a game that's been out for years. I mean, I think you streamed it years ago.
Yeah, I played it a while ago.
Big influencers show up, play Among Us blows up. Then I don't know what that other game is, that horror Phasma something.
Phasmophobia?
Yeah, that. So
I've heard people playing that.
Yeah, so a bunch of big influencers played it, game blew up, and now Genshin. And I love it because it's anime as fuck, dude. It's such an anime-ass game. But we're seeing so many walks of life and so many different kinds of people playing it and diving into it. It's freaking wild.
I think the versatility of it of the game is really what's helping it explode. Being able to play on mobile while at the same time playing on PC or playing on PS4 and having the freedom to bounce between console versus mobile, right? So
Can't do that.
That alone is huge.
No, but you can't.
Right?
So it's cross save with mobile and PC, but console doesn't have cross save.
Yeah, sorry. Okay, so console doesn't have cross save, but PC and mobile.
Yeah, hopefully they'll add it. Crossing my fingers. I don't know. At fucking Sony, man. Maybe we'll get lucky though.
But literally being able to walk away and just have the game in the palm of my hand when I want to play on my phone.
And
obviously, for people who have the phones that are
so
updated.
well. It runs
actually,
so well.
That's the surprising part. It runs really well.
Like, I don't play mobile games, but I have been playing the crap out of this. Like, it's so good. Like, it's one of those things where it's running so well. The game's free. Like, this game is so good for being free. Like, you don't have to spend money on this game to have fun at all. Like, I'm curious, like, how much money have you spent on the game?
Battle Pass thing, and I'm probably about like $85 deep.
Okay.
I want to say.
So you got the Battle Pass,
maybe 100, somewhere around there.
Okay. Yeah, Switch. It's also coming to Switch, which I'm excited for. I really hope Switch has crossplay. Like if nothing else, if PlayStation doesn't have crossplay, I hope Switch gets crossplay. But yeah, no, I prior to today, before today's stream, I have only spent $25 on it. I got the little $5 thing that gives you 90 primo gems every day. In my opinion, probably the best deal in the store. And then the battle pass, I wasn't paying attention and I ended up buying the $20 battle pass, which I probably didn't need to, because I could have totally. I'm gonna play this game so much, I probably did not need to unlock those extra levels sooner. But that's my fault for not reading. You thinking?
I think so. So as great as this game is, I
Mhm.
do have some issues with the leveling system
Same.
for adventure rank.
Yeah, let's just go in. Let's treat this almost like as a review in a way, I guess. So yeah, like let's talk about like the stuff, like maybe the issues we have with it, because I feel like the game's getting a lot of praise, but it's definitely not it's definitely not perfect.
No, no, and by any means, it is definitely not perfect. And this is where other companies can come in and create a game that something as awesome as this
Hmm.
with the potential. I mean, like I don't think I've seen any other game that besides like even like Pokemon was kind of like this too, like where it had this like open world feel like
Hmm.
this, and you had like dungeons you can go into and all this. Um, but like even like Breath of the Wild, I guess it kind of runs off the same engine. And
It reminds me a lot of all of the things that hook me in a game like Destiny and all of the things that hook me in an MMO, except I don't need people to play. I can play by myself. If I want to play co-op with my friends, which I haven't tried yet, I don't know how well that runs. Maybe you can give some input on that. But
it runs pretty well, I
that's
will
good to
say.
know. But yeah, so it's like my biggest issue that I run into with most games for me is a lot of the times I like I get really into a game like Destiny or Borderlands or any of those really grindy games, and inevitably it never fails. I eventually get to that wall of you need X amount of friends to do this story. I ran into that as an issue with Final Fantasy 14, where I was streaming it and it was the story mission. And the only way to progress was to finish that story mission. And I needed a full crew of 4. And I
Yep.
didn't, and none of the community that played the game was available. So I had to run around and basically do nothing for like an hour and couldn't progress. Where I think that, and I've had that issue with Destiny where I'm like, oh, the only gear I need is raid gear, but I don't have 6 people right now, so I can't do a raid. The only thing I have is, X mission at X rank level that requires 3 people, like whatever. So like that's what I've run into
You
a
don't
lot.
feel gated by
Yeah.
difficulty.
Like I can
Okay.
just play it and do everything I need to on my own. And like again, even I said like I was having a blast. Like I got lucky. I got a bunch of rare characters for free without putting any money into the game at first. And but even without them, like all of the free characters they just give you are fun. And the developers are being so generous right now. Like I don't have the console pulled up, but if you want to take the reins, I'm gonna pull it up on mobile real quick, just because I want to see how much
Oh, all the
free.
mail that they've given you.
Yeah, because like
I
they're
mean,
getting.
they really have. They've given away so many like wishes and extra points and
I would say they've
emo gems.
given upwards. If I had to guess, they've given upwards. Well, no, actually, I know exactly. Um, Before I spent any money, I unlocked. I think it was something in the battle pass for 50 summons. So at least what, $50 worth?
Yeah, yeah. Which is a lot for them.
Yeah,
Like on a free game, just to give away a bunch of free shit.
yeah. It's just
So,
it's wild.
but now the issue that I'm running into
Hmm.
at like, because I think I'm adventure rank like 27 right now,
Hmm.
is you're running out of quests to do. So then you basically got to go chest hunt and run around in the open world until like you find someone who's like, "Hey, here's a quest," and you're like, "Okay,"
So
and it's usually
you've
like
had
the
that?
blue exclamation point, huh?
I have so many quests left.
Really?
Yeah, I have like
I've only got literally I've got
10
one
world
quest I think
quests.
left.
I have like 10 world missions to do. Obviously my dailies, my resin. Like that's my thing. So like I guess we should probably explain that is like so the dailies obviously upgrade your battle pass, the dailies are daily missions, yada yada. I feel like Genshin's gonna become that game. I feel like we are all going super, super hard on it now because there's so much. But I feel like this is a game that I could see us playing for months. But it's like pop it up, do your dailies, top your resin, get all the stuff done for the day. Cool.
And then hop off.
And then hop off until a big update. Now, I don't know if have you heard about the rumors for the 1.1 update?
I've looked into some of your videos and like, listened a little bit, but I'm still skeptical until I like hear it from an actual.
I agree, but a lot of the stuff has already come true. So like they've already released the patch for 60 FPS on Android, which is cool. But and the rumors, like a lot of the stuff was data mined, which means it's in the game. It's just a matter of if they're gonna, delay it or whatever. But like the rumors are that in another week and a half, we're gonna be getting another map that's the size of Liu, which is like, I mean, this map is massive. For those that haven't played it yet, this map is.
It's
what would you compare it? Like, what would you compare it to? I don't even. It's so big. I don't even know.
I really don't know. I mean, the closest thing you could do is Breath of the Wild.
I feel like it's bigger than Breath of the Wild, which is crazy.
Once it's fully unlocked, yes, but as of right now, I wouldn't say it's near the size, like fully size of it yet.
Have you not unlocked the whole map yet?
Well, I mean, besides the red areas, no.
I'm trying to think.
Because like you can unlock like certain parts of the area, but there are areas of the map that are still blacked out.
You've got Liu, right? You got Liu.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's all right. So yeah. So would you say a little smaller than the Breath of the Wild map?
I'd say so. Yeah.
And there's rumors that they're adding one that's the size of Liu, which I think is about almost half the size of the map, right?
It'll probably be either probably the left side of the map, to be honest.
So I would say if this update is true, probably then it'll be bigger. Because Liu's huge. Like Liu's a big chunk of the map, like probably 40% of the map.
I'm curious with them introducing like a new area like this. Are they going to introduce like new crafting ingredients, this and that? Because like I don't know if you've taken the time to like go to the blacksmith yet and like see the kind of stuff you can craft using the boss fight material, the weekly boss fight material stuff.
So I haven't like looked super into it. I've looked at it a little bit. I just haven't gone crazy with it.
So you're on world rank 2, right?
I actually don't know what my world rank is. I haven't been looking at it.
What adventure rank are you?
26.
So you have ascended then. So you're okay. If you go to it's the storm. I think it's the Stormbearer and the Wolf. Both those guys are weekly bosses that you can only kill once a week to get loot for. So make sure you're always killing them like every like Sunday night. And like on a side note on that, Sunday, if you haven't looked at the amount of loot that you can get on Sundays from these goddamn dungeons, save your Crescent Moons for Sunday.
Really?
Yeah, like the dungeons, like everything you get one of it, like basically everything.
Hold on,
that's available.
Wait. Am I dumb? Crescent Moons. What do you mean?
Crescent Moons restore your resin.
Oh, okay. I use those only if I don't have enough resin to get my daily done for the day.
Yeah, you want to generally save those for Sundays because like Sundays are your big day to farm a shit ton of loot.
But you would assume it's called fragile resin, yeah. So but you would assume that you want you would want to get your dailies done though, right?
Yeah, I mean you want to hop on, you want to do your dailies, you want to run a couple dungeons to use up your fragile resin. And then at that point, if you don't have any more quests, you can do the chest route that I showed you earlier. And at that point, I mean, you've probably spent a good like hour to 2 hours in the game. You could probably log off. But Sundays are going to be your big days to go into like the domains and this and that because the amount of loot that drops on Sunday is insane compared to every other day of the week.
Yeah, I could see that.
So, like those are the days when you want to farm and use up the Crescent Moon things. I can't think of what the heck they're called.
They're fragile resin.
Okay, the fragile resin. Yeah, you want to use that's when you would want to use those.
It's wild too. Like they have really figured out a way to make you want to play it a lot, right? So
I
like,
mean, there's a lot of depth. I will say that
mm,
for like end game grind, there's a
mm,
lot of depth. But the issue that I'm seeing right now is once you run out of doing that shit, like
mhm,
let's say you hop on for a day, right? And
mhm,
you got the day off. It's not Sunday, but you want to get some shit done.
yeah,
But you're like level 30.
mhm,
If there's not a lot, if you don't have a lot of quests to do, well, at that point, then you're gonna go do the chest route, or you're gonna go farm the domains for like
mhm,
people to ascend them and get your gear up.
yeah.
But after that, then what?
So do you think that that stuff's missing, or do you think that maybe you just haven't gotten there yet? Like,
I
because
think
I've been
that
wondering, like, well, obviously we're not at 30 yet. Like, I'm wondering because, like, obviously we know the game does a very good job of like, oh, you leveled up, here's something cool, right? Oh, you hit level
yep.
12, here's your dailies. Oh, you hit level 14, 15, here's co-op. Oh, you hit level 20, here's the battle pass. And which I really like the way they handled the battle pass, that it's retroactive. So like, no matter how long it takes you to get to the battle pass, you're still going to get all your stuff, but you will miss out on weeklies and dailies. So definitely get there ASAP. So like, we don't
Yeah.
know, like, what do you get at 30, at 40, at 50, at 60? Like the adventure
There's
ranks are so high.
I unlocked something. Oh, I unlocked something called story quests at
Mm,
27, but it requires
interesting.
adventure rank 32.
Yeah. That's what I'm wondering, is if it's
So
like,
it's like, well, cool, I unlocked it, but now I have to go grind to level 32 to even do it.
yeah. So uh, if you had to take a guess, right? Because a couple people in the chat are saying the same thing, or AR26 is exactly where I started running out of stuff to do, which I'm shocked because I've done the math. Like, I've gone and I've looked at all of the missions I have. If I go and I complete all of my missions, I should easily get to level 28, 29. Um Easy.
You say
And my
that, but
dailies. Well, no, because I
just
know how
wait,
much. Well,
man.
no, but I know how much experience. Like, I have a lot of missions left to do. A lot of missions left to do. So that's where I'm curious about it, and I'm honestly would love to know like how that works, but I don't know. I mean, we'll see. It's just I wonder if there's stuff that maybe you didn't get to, because like when you told me that me and you were the same adventure rank, I'm shocked because I have
Well, I
so
kind
much
of took a
shit
break
left to
from
do.
it for like a day too. But
Fair.
I've also been kind of spending a lot of time buffing characters, doing different things. Like I
Hmm.
pushed Barbara to almost 12,000 life
Damn.
just to see what it would do to her healing.
Hmm.
I've now pushed Fischl to over 1,000 attack,
Hmm.
and she's like, obviously she's character level 50,
Yeah.
which it's still just going to go even higher once the base number starts building up.
Oh,
But
for sure.
just the fact that I'm seeing at level 50, I'm seeing critical hits from her for like 1,000 damage,
Yeah.
and
From
I'm
Barbara,
not
which is
even using
wild to
like the
think
correct
about.
elements. Oh
Because
no,
you,
no, Fischl. That's
oh,
from
official.
Fischl.
Okay, yeah, I could see that. Official's wild. Like, dude, my official's already like not playing around, and I'm in this weird thing where my biggest problem I have is I leveled up way too many characters to 40 and spent way too much of my experience stuff. And now I have to farm artifacts. I don't have enough artifacts, like nearly enough artifacts.
Yeah, I'm also running. I also ran into that issue when I was trying to buff my characters. But I will say that's probably one of the craziest and most interesting things about the game is the developers give everyone so many chances to stack individual characters that I
Mhm.
would say the best thing to do if you're not trying to spend a shit ton of money in the game
Don't
is
upgrade them
just
until you know you're going to
is
use them.
just one, don't upgrade until you're going to use them, and until you're actually going to make a build. Just make do with what you got.
Mhm.
And two, if the game's constantly giving you doubles of a character, play with that character,
Yeah.
right? Because the constellations are very huge in this game.
Oh, they're
Like
wild.
it's a huge damage boost. And if you're not using a character that you have constellations set up with, and you're hoping, praying that you're gonna get Jean or Diluc or this or that,
Mhm.
like play to your strengths in this game is one thing I've really noticed. At
Yeah.
that point, then you're not wasting a bunch of currency to try to play with one character
Mhm.
when you've got a character that has a 4 constellation setup who has a bunch of damage boosts because he's, all set up.
Yeah,
Like I'm
like,
using Fischl and she's got literally 1 constellation.
yeah, I think Fischl, I think I have 2 or 3 constellations right now, and then Barbara I have a lot. So I got a level like that. But that's my issue, right? Is I got Venti today, I got Diluc today, and I got a bunch of constellations for Barbara. But I want to use Venti, I want to use Diluc, but I can't level them up. So I'm all bummed. I'm like, I want to use these guys, but I can't. So Barbara's one of those characters that I think I leveled her up to 40 a while ago, so I could probably use her. But I totally get what you're saying. Like, you just got to work with what you got. And all of the characters are fun to use. Like, sure, some are better than others, but I mean, there's ways to make them better. Like you said, with constellations and whatnot.
Yeah, the constellations and understanding the elements, right? So one of the things I actually just figured out was I was actually scrolling on Reddit, and there's a post where they're showing the different elements and what it actually does and how it interacts with the characters, right? So Fischl, which I had no idea until I started really researching into her. She's a very interesting character because a lot of her bow attacks literally do no elemental damage.
Yeah.
Right. It's just flat damage, and the only time her element actually does damage is when the crow starts attacking.
Okay.
Right. Now, if you use the crow plus using ice, it reduces the enemy's physical resistance.
Really?
Yeah, think about that now.
See, that's a weird one because like I don't have any ice characters that I like. But I guess I've only used, what is his name? The guy they give you in the story. Yeah, Kaya.
Yeah, I mean actually using Kaya as well, because that's all I have. But it's because I'm using him to gain that damage boost.
Yeah. I'm in that now where I have Amber in my party just to get the double fire, to get that 40% boost in attack. Because I've noticed that having Amber just as a passive character that I don't really use boosts everybody in the party's attack so much that it's worth it compared to having a fourth character.
Yeah, because you get I can't think of what it's called.
It's like a 40% attack boost across the party. It's stupid. Like it's wild. And I'm in this thing where I'm just ready to get Diluc up because I'm like, I can just replace Amber with Diluc, and then I can actually have a good character that's fire and not just. So right now I'm using Xingling, Amber, Jean, and Fischl. But I gotta I want to completely redo it just because I have so many other people, and like I just got Beto and I haven't even used her, and apparently she's amazing and like a tank, and I don't know. Dude, it's wild. This game is massive. I'm just curious how well they'll support it, but if the rumors are anything, I think somebody said they made $50 million in the first day.
Wow.
Or something crazy. Which, like, for some AAA games is not, something, but like that's wild.
That's still that's the game pretty wild.
And the game is just getting more popular and bigger. Like it from what I can see, at least it hasn't slowed down. At least I don't think it has.
I don't think so. I mean, obviously people are going to keep grinding the game on the side, this and that, and pick it up and play it when they can. I mean, it's there's still people that have no idea about the game that I talk to.
Yeah, and then you tell them and they're like, "Wait, what? It's free? What about it? Explain." I had a friend with or a friend of mine that I told him, he was like, "Oh, you bet." I'm like, "I'm just addicted to Genshin Impact." He's like, "The fuck is that?" And like me and him met each other through the games industry. Like he follows the games industry. Like he knows about game stuff, but I had no idea what this was. He's like completely like no idea. But I definitely like you said, I think that this could be the start because I feel like they laid the groundwork and have shown that if you make the game and you make it well, that people will respond to it, especially in the age of influencers,
Yep. And I mean, it's bound to keep continuing.
Right, for sure. Like I'm excited to see how it progresses and like how consistent they update it, because I feel like with these kind of games, I think that's what it comes down to, right? Is okay, game's out, hella content. We know how the internet works. People are gonna hit walls. I mean, there's people out there that are level fucking 35 adventure rank, pushing 40 already. Game's been out for like 4 days, and I'm like, how the hell did you do that? Do you not sleep? Like,
I mean, dude, it's insane, man. It truly is insane.
And it's just like, where is the cap? Where is the ceiling? When My thing is, when is it going to get to the point, like when is it going to get to the Destiny situation where everybody's hit the ceiling, everybody's done, there's nothing left to do, and everybody's bored and is just like, when's the content coming? When's the content coming? When's the content coming? I don't know when that ceiling is, honestly. Because because it's like, you said you feel like you might be hitting the ceiling now, but like there's people in the chat saying that they hit AR 35, which is almost 10 AR levels higher than us. So obviously there's a bunch of stuff left to do.
It really does make me wonder what those people are doing to like get the experience.
Right? I'm just surprised when I hear people like you saying you're out, that you finished quests, and then like Penguin in the chat saying he's kind of stuck at AR 7, finished all the quests, and I'm just like, my quest list, I still have so much left. Like I still have so many left. Most of them are world quests, but still, like I have so many quests left, and I can't. Like it's just crazy to me.
No, I mean, once you get them done, then you're like, okay, now what do I do?
Yeah.
Like I literally have. I think I have 1 or 2 quests left for world quests, and then the rest is just my daily commissions, and that's it.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, okay, now what do I do?
There's probably some stuff around the map I would say that you maybe haven't found. Like I know I haven't unlocked all of the things yet.
Oh yeah, I still got to do some exploring for the map.
Yeah.
That's definitely for sure.
And I'm sure that there's going to be some
what
other stuff there. So I mean, I'm curious to see. I mean, I think about it from the perspective of the daily resin, you get about 500 adventure rank, I think, for just using your resin.
Yeah, that's true.
Which I think that's the biggest thing about the daily is you're given 128 resin that accumulates over time, and the daily in the battle pass is 150. So realistically, and this is why I think I'm just shocked how well they handled this. Unless you want to use your resin things, I forget what it's called, refined resin or whatever the hell it is, you basically want to wake up in the morning, bang out your resin, and then before you go to bed, bang out 2 more after it's replenished for the day to hit that 150. So like it's very strategic in the way that everything is handled.
Yeah, I mean, like
maybe good, maybe bad. I don't know.
I'm curious to see what they're going to change in the next update. That's for damn. That's what really has my most attention right now,
dude. If this 1.1 update rumor is real, it's going to be wild. For a first update, you know what I mean? Like a Liu, which is like 2/3 of the map. Like, hey, we just.
I don't know if they're going to push out the entire thing and like that. That's a lot.
It is, but like, who knows? Like they might. I don't know, dude. Like the whole situation is weird because I don't know what they'll do. It's just, and like, dude, another thing, I don't know. Like there's rumors, or I think it's in the game code, but it just, they haven't put it out yet. Like it's there and it will come, is skins. There's going to be skins to collect in the future. I think it's like, yo, is there going to be a Halloween event? They're going to do a Halloween event?
I wonder if they're going to do a Halloween event.
We get pets. Like we get pets. You give me mounts. Like there's so much shit they could do. Like imagine you fall off the wagon of the game for a few weeks, right? You fall off the wagon. You're just kind of like, whatever. Like you're moving on, and then all of a sudden they're like, by the way, mounts. You'd come back in because you'd be like, I need a mount. I want a mount. Skins? Oh my god. I could dress up Lisa in like a sexy pumpkin outfit. Let's go. You know what I mean? Like there's so many things they can do.
It's very interesting. What they plan on doing, honestly, the multiplayer is really where I think the game's going to thrive, and I think they said something about doing like an 8-man raid, didn't they?
I don't know about 8-man raid, but I heard that 8-man co-op is coming.
8 character.
I don't think it's out yet.
Is it now? Is that 8-player co-op, or is that 8 character co-op where each person, the max lobby is 4 players, but each player can have 2 characters?
I don't know. It's so I don't. So that's the weird thing, and that's what I mean about like it reminds me of an MMO. Is they could totally implement the co-op where you pick one character and you work with a team of however many people. But I don't know if that would ruin the charm of Genshin, because I feel like one of the fun things of Genshin is that you can swap your characters, right? Like
Yeah,
it's
so
it's
that's what I'm thinking. They'd go with 4 players who control 2 different characters.
yeah. I think that could be interesting. That way you could still swap, but you don't have 4 people. I definitely think it would be cool. But I would say, oh wait, hold on. Somebody's saying, well, when it comes to co-op, you can only use one character. You can't switch. Is that true?
Right. Well, yes and no in a way. It depends how many players are in your lobby. So if I join your lobby,
Mm-hmm.
you can use 2 characters and I can use 2 characters.
But if we had a
If
third,
if a third joins, I get 1 character, the third gets 1 character, you get 2 characters.
can we use the same? Like, could I have a Jaden? Could you
Yeah,
have a
we
Jaden?
we could literally both use officials if we wanted.
That's interesting. I didn't know that. That actually is something that they could literally turn this into an MMO. Like, they totally could. Like, that sounds like a blast.
But it is the thing about multiplayer is you can't there are certain domains that you can't take people into multiplayer with.
Mhm.
There are certain fights in the game, like Storm Terror, you can't take other players with you in.
Yeah, I saw that. Which
So
they
you
might
are limited on
change.
what you can and can't do. It's mostly like open world exploration, going to kill open world bosses,
Mhm.
that kind of stuff. You can do multiplayer with.
Yeah,
Like
and you can't do quests, right?
storyline content, if you try to open like a new level on your map, like go to one of
Mhm.
those shrines that opens up your map,
Yeah.
that you can't even do that. You have like everyone has to leave your
Even as
room
the
for you just to
host?
do. Yeah, even as the host.
That's so weird.
So multiplayer does have its restrictions in a way.
So they definitely need to fix some stuff for sure. It
Yeah,
sounds like. Hmm.
but the game has a lot of promise, and that's the
Oh
thing.
yeah.
That's the thing right now
The potential's
is
there for sure.
the game setting the world on fire,
Oh,
and it's beautiful.
100%.
It's a
It's
fucking great
gorgeous.
game.
It's gorgeous. It's just like it's waifus, man. So many
Breath of the
waifus.
waifus, my dude.
It
Breath of the waifus.
literally is Breath of the waifus, but that would be amazing. Like I feel like if they could flesh out the co-op and make the co-op better, I feel like it could be wild. Just because like I haven't gotten sucked into a game like this in I don't even know how long. I
Let
have
me
no
let
idea.
me let me put it this way, right?
Mm.
When was the last time a multiplayer game launched that had this much like people playing it
Mm.
and didn't have server issues?
That's a good point. Never.
Like
Like
whenever I
never.
play with my friends, like sometimes they lag and like their character
But
will
it's
glitch
also
or whatnot.
not it's also
But
not
it's not
multiplayer though,
like
really.
you're not getting kicked out of people's lobbies and this
Mm.
and that. Like
But I also
it's
feel like
actually like it
most
works pretty well.
I feel like most people are doing single player though. Like I literally we have a smaller TV that's never used. I literally moved it into the bedroom. Me and Brie have been playing together, like in the bedroom.
Yeah.
Yeah, just hanging out,
Nice.
playing Genshin together, like both TVs side by side. And it's like we're doing our own thing. And it's funny when we're like, oh shit, look, we're in the same area. Like the other day we were playing and like we both ulted on this exact same character at the exact same time, and they both said the thing. And it was
Yeah.
just like fun moments like that. But like we haven't even tried co-op because we know the restrictions. So we're like, why bother?
Agreed. And once they hash out some of that, I feel like right now it's just leveling up your character, leveling up your team.
Hmm.
But it does make me wonder once you get to the higher adventure ranks, like
Hmm.
what more is there to do right now?
I mean, I think it's like most games, or most games like this, and it's funny because it's when I say most games like this, I feel like we always default to MMOs, Destiny, Division, those games that are designed to be played with multiple people, and Genshin isn't, which is odd. But I do think that it's eventually there will be a cap. It's inevitable. It's just like any game. It's
Yep.
inevitable. There will be a cap, especially with influencers, especially with people who do this for a living. There will be a cap. Um, the question is, how do they handle the updates? Do they roll out the updates fast enough to make the cap worth it? I think that is the most important thing.
how I think how involved with the community they are to help
Hmm.
maintain some kind of end game grind for the people who really play the game and enjoy it, compared
Hmm.
to catering to the newer players and only really like looking to make a quick buck off them.
Yep. Which I think is what most developers fall into. So I think it just depends on what they do, but I do feel like they've been handling it really well with the amount of stuff they keep giving away. Like I definitely feel that the they're heading in the right direction, you know?
There is a lot to grind in this game, though. I will say that. I
There's like
actually
80,000 different currencies. There's like you have adventure rank level, you have world rank level, your characters have levels, there's ascension of the levels, the artifacts have
well,
levels, the weapons have
yeah, I mean,
levels.
it's all of that grind, and I will say one of the huge things I really enjoy about the game is once you go to the blacksmith and you start looking at the weapons that you can craft with it.
Hmm.
All of that stuff you can get from bosses, right? So
Hmm.
like you don't have to spend money to get like a badass weapon that'll do exactly what you want. Like
No.
actually one of the weapons I've been eyeing, which I think would be best in slot for Barbara, literally is an item you can craft using boss drops.
Yeah. Which I
So
feel like that's
it's
most of them too.
and at that point, you know how you can use the same weapon to refine it to make it better?
Hmm.
You can do that just by buying from the vendor,
Yeah.
not having to constantly spend money and hope that you get X item or this or that.
Yeah, and there's a way to farm primo gems, so there's definitely a way to get
Yeah, I mean, the
wishes.
Spiral Abyss. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, it's definitely one of those situations where the game is very well made. I mean, I feel like that's it, but I think it is one of those things. The game's been in beta for like 6 months. Like one of the biggest Genshin Impact YouTubers right now, dude exploded. Damone Kim, the dude has like 800 plus hours in the game. So he was in the beta, so he knows like everything.
Damn.
Dude has gotten like 30,000 subs in like since the game is officially released like a week ago. Not even
That's
like
wild.
he's probably gonna hit 100K if he hasn't already in like a day or two. Like dude's getting like 5,000 plus subs per day. Like it's fucking insane.
I
Oh,
mean, the game's exploding, dude.
never mind. Remember I said he's gonna hit 100K if he hasn't already. 111,000.
Wow.
He was under 70K on release of this game. It's in that's how big this game is getting, dude. Like, and it's one of those things where the game's been around for so long, and I feel like they listened to everybody. You know, they listened to their community, and they listened to the beta testers, and I feel like that definitely helped them.
Yeah, I mean, in this day and age, especially like a free to play game, like you need to be listening to your community. Like I feel like that's where some companies go wrong is they listen to their
Oh
community for a
yeah.
little bit and then they start going to do their own thing, and know they're getting told to do what they need to do by upper management, this and
Hmm.
that, and not actually listening to the people. So then people
Hmm.
just get bored of the game.
Yeah, and which is the issue, and nobody seems to ever learn it. They're like, well, we can make this much money in 2 months, or we could just let it rock and make a lot more. So yeah, that's probably the better idea. That's probably what you should do.
I do find it interesting though, like all the different trends right now with the games that are trending.
Mm.
Like I feel like everyone's just looking for that beautiful game to play right now, kind of like how Apex exploded.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I feel like we're on the cusp of something beautiful that no one's fucking talking about right now, and all of a sudden it's just gonna get released and just blow the fuck up.
What do you mean? Like,
Just in video games in general, like there's a lot of things that they've done right in this game, right, in
mhm.
Genshin,
Yeah.
but there's also a lot of things that can be improved upon, especially for like end game content to constantly keep you coming back
Yeah, for sure.
without having a paywall.
Hmm.
So if other developers are taking anything to like to pull away from this,
Hmm.
is just look at how why these games are successful. I mean, you've got Among Us, you've got Phasmagoria, you've got Genshin Impact right now.
Hmm. And they're
Like
all so different.
yeah, they're all very different games, but And that, I think that just shows you like there is growth like possible in all those sectors. It's just people just they need to put out a game that isn't glitchy and buggy and have a bunch of issues.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if a game comes out and it's good, it will draw the attention of people. And it's I honestly would love to see them. I would love to see them update things. I
Yeah.
would love to see them, lean in to the manga, maybe make an anime, out of it, because it's one of those situations where this game is super animated, and people that don't even give a shit about anime are playing the crap out of it, and it's just wild. Like, especially now, like, obviously I have, this is an anime podcast, which is why there's the reason we're talking about it, because it's a very
Yep.
anime game. And like, now there's a manga. I'm totally reading the manga. I'm probably going to make videos on it. It's 13 chapters. Realistically, I could probably bang that out in fucking one video. I don't know. We'll see. But like, it's the idea of it is really cool, because it's just it's part of that. What's the word? Like, it's part of that aesthetic and part of that community, and it's branching off. Like, there's so many members of my community that don't really play video games much, and I started talking about Genshin, and now they're all fucking addicted to it. Like, they're all addicted to it, and it's so cool to see, like, the crossover between the anime community and Genshin, and then seeing the people who just don't care about anime and they're joining Genshin too. And I'm kind of like, release more Genshin
Because
stuff,
it's
man.
got a very very anime feel to it, but at the same time
Mhm.
the combat system is very fluid. Like it's very clean.
Yes, it's shockingly clean. There's shockingly, like, it's just weird. Like, it works so well. The game is way better than it has any right to be. As weird as that sounds. Like, I was excited. Don't get me wrong. I was hyped,
yeah.
but I did not think for a second that I was gonna like it as much as I am. Not even a little bit.
I think that's what a lot of people are feeling right now.
Mm-hmm. Everybody's just like, what? Like, I forget what, I don't remember what news outlet it was, but a news outlet was like, this game is way too good to just be a Breath of the Wild clone. Because people kept calling it a Breath of the Wild clone. And they were like, no. You don't understand. It might look like it. It might have inspirations from Breath of the Wild, which the developers have said that they have inspirations from Breath of the Wild, but
Yep.
it's so different but so similar at the same time. It's wild.
I think it's just because it uses the same game engine as
Does
Breath
it?
of the
Does
Wild.
it? Does it use the same engine?
I mean, it literally looks like the same,
I
like
don't
the
think
same
it.
engine.
No, I don't think it is, though. Because, I mean, you would assume Nintendo owns that engine. I don't think they're licensing it out. I mean, now you got to be
curious.
wondering.
Yeah.
I don't think it's the same. It definitely looks different. It has a similar visual, like, aesthetic, but I definitely don't think that it's the same engine. A lot of people are saying that it's probably the Honkai Impact third engine, because it's the same developers, which would make sense. At least I think it should make sense that way.
Okay. Yeah. This is way above my pay grade. I have no idea.
Yeah, I don't know what this is exactly.
I'll leave someone way smarter to me to figure that out. But
Mhm.
I feel like it definitely does use the same engine. The material system and the game system obviously is different, but like crafting and everything like that kind of feels the same.
You think? I feel like the crafting feels really different.
Like for food, like cooking food and
Yeah,
stuff.
food, you just do the thing, and then it's a mini game. Where in Breath of the Wild, it's like you go in your menu, you pick all the food you want, you throw it in a pot, and hope it doesn't come out as shit. Like, the cooking,
yeah.
the cooking's very different, I think.
I'm just talking about just like the animation, like it just it to me it
I
feels
see what you're saying. I get what you're saying.
like obviously like the system inside, like the game itself is different, but it just feels the same with like collecting everything, like even down to collecting items,
Mm-hmm.
like going up and smashing rocks on the side of mountains.
Mm-hmm.
I will say what's different. I do find that interesting is like sometimes you can walk up to like a campsite in this game
Mm-hmm.
and it'll be like investigate, and then it'll drop like 3 radishes, and you're like, what the fuck? Who the hell travels radishes in a goddamn little tent?
Look, man, you got to do what you got to do. What I'm honestly curious about, though, is why did this blow up? Like, people keep saying it's very similar to Honkai Impact Third, which is made by the same people. Do we think that it's the same thing that we've discussed about anime before? Is that names? Because Honkai Impact Third is just fucking stupid ass name. I think we can agree on that. Whether the game's good or not, that name is.
I think that's just a translation thing.
Genshin Impact is just okay. It's Genshin Impact. You know, like, it's simple. And I just wonder. Like, I haven't played Honkai Impact, so I don't know how similar they are, but I know it has a diehard community. It has really good reviews on the Google Play Store and whatnot. Like, I see what people are talking about, though. It definitely looks very similar, like almost identical in a way, like looks wise.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like the visuals of it and like the anime aesthetic. Like, if you just Google images, Honkai Impact Third, like, it's the characters look very similar, and you can definitely see the inspirations for it. I don't know what kind of game Honkai Impact Third is, but I will say this: after scrolling through images, I am seeing some characters in bikinis. So, who knows? We might be getting some. We might be seeing some bikini skins. Because you heard about. Well, you heard about the rumor of the. Let me see if I can look it up here. The rumor of the 18 plus update. So I don't know if you've noticed this. So there is in Genshin, there is the you know, when if you're climbing, right, in the game, and you try to like look up the skirt, they they turn like invisible. So apparently, because I guess like once you get to the point where you can look up their skirt, they like go invisible. But apparently they're going to be adding an update where you just confirm if you're over 18 or not, and if you are, they won't turn invisible anymore. Which, it's not like you're gonna, like, you know, look up and all of a sudden you see some poop, you know, some poo-tang under there. But I guess you'll be able to get some look at underwear if that's your thing.
So does that mean we're gonna have different skinned underwear?
That'd be so funny. Dude, that'd be amazing.
Like you about to get to choose all the different kind of underwear.
Can you imagine? They're like, not skins, only when you're flying, and jeans, you know, different leggings.
Oh god, man!
Oh my god, that's amazing. But yeah, like, there's rumors of that. Like, I wouldn't even be surprised. I wouldn't even be surprised if somebody, like, if there's already like Genshin Impact hentai. Like, let's just be real here. Like, this game is exploding.
I'm not putting that in my Google search history.
I'm not saying you have to. If somebody in chat wants to confirm for us that's over the age of 18, I mean, that's your prerogative. Or somebody could, you know, I don't know, put it in the YouTube comments or something. But yeah, see, chat's already confirmed there is. Look, they already know. They already know. They already know. They didn't even have to look it up. They knew. Immediately, instantly. As soon as I brought it up, they're like, yep, it exists. Oh god, weirdly of Barbara and Paimon? Nope. Nope. Emergency food is not allowed at a hentai. That's not okay. Guys, stop. You're making SeeOhKnee uncomfortable. He doesn't like hentai.
I'm the fact that Paimon's included in the hentai, I don't want anything to do with it now.
Weird. Yeah, that's weird. That makes me not even want to look it up out of curiosity at this point.
Yep.
But I don't know, man. That's weird. I don't know, dude. But no, dude, I love this game. Like, I think it's amazing. It's definitely not perfect. I have my complaints about it. But it looks like they're going to be fixing a lot of stuff in the patches, and the game's brand new. So, you know, they have a lot of time to change. But
oh yeah, I mean that's the thing I'm looking most forward to is they have a lot of time to fix their issues.
Mm-hmm.
I just hope they don't drag ass and, you know, take their time. I mean,
same. That's the only.
I really hate to say it, but like if you take Fall Guys for example,
mm-hmm.
like Fall Guys is a great game, but they're taking way too long, in my opinion, to release new content. And they're teasing at this point, so people are starting to move on to games like Among Us.
I think that
Genshin Impact.
Because so like the new season's coming out in like a week, I think. I actually wonder if that is because obviously they did not expect the game to blow up, right? So they had season 2 planned. You know, even before season 2 leaked, it said how long the battle pass was until it expired. So everybody already kind of knew when season 2 is starting. And I'm wondering if they weren't just like, well, we can't just change the battle pass and make it come out sooner, you know? So I'm wondering if after season 2 of Fall Guys we'll see more updates. But I totally get what you mean. Like you think, like you see success, right? Genshin Impact obviously doing very well. You know, even in the first day, you would assume that in that case, okay, it's doing really well. We need to keep people hooked, bring more people on board, right? You would assume, or reallocate, because it's not like this is a small game. I mean, Honkai Impact, I've heard people talk about this for years. So like they're obviously a well-known developer who obviously has been around long enough to make multiple games. So I think if they reallocate resources effectively and properly, I think it could do really, really well.
I'm excited.
Same. So, Tony, do you have any last thoughts?
Not really. Just get out there, do your fucking dailies, grind some shit. If you guys want to see more of this kind of content, let us know.
Yeah.
Drop in the comments.
For real. Like, that's something I think that we would like to see. Like, we are loving this game a lot. And, you know, I think if there's definitely enough interest for it, I could definitely, and you know, Mortanos, a friend of ours, has already said that he's interested and he'd be down. I don't think that we would be opposed to a little Genshin Impact podcast. So it wouldn't have to be long either. I mean, if people like it, I don't think anybody's done a Genshin Impact podcast. And I think it could be a fun thing, like each week, just be like, yo, how you doing? What you got? What's your levels? Talk about news and updates that are coming to the game and whatnot. I think it could be a fun time. Even if it was like a bi-weekly thing, or like every 30, you know, just a 30-minute show, something short.
Yeah, nothing. It doesn't have to be super long, but it's something like people can listen to get updates on the game for that week, or you know what to do for this. And
yeah,
I mean, it's definitely worth it. I mean, obviously, we're going to be taking time to look at the game and to understand what's happening, especially like trying to grind the new content, and well, not the new content yet, but to get our characters at least geared up for the content, doing like Spiral Abyss.
Yeah,
for sure. I mean, that's gonna be another thing like we're gonna be pushing into, especially at our level, is starting to do higher level Spiral Abyss, and like what kind of strategies we're looking into do, and this and that. So there's a lot we can cover.
That's what I'm looking forward to, is getting to the point where like me, you, and Morty are up, and we're playing together, and we're trying to figure that stuff out, like you mentioned. I think that could be a lot of fun.
Yep, and getting your world level up.
So and again, you know, people are saying like there might not be enough content for another podcast at the moment. I agree. I mean, there might not be, but I think that if this is something people are enjoying and people want to see it, I'm down to try it. I mean, here's the thing, right? If the game dies in a month, oh, whatever. We got 3 episodes of a podcast out of it. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like it's not a big concern if it's like, all right, well, time to move on. And I think it could be something we could talk about the manga too. I mean, the fact there's a manga, I mean, it's a short manga, it's only 13 chapters, but like I'm fucking excited, dude. Like, I love the world.
Manga for this.
Like I'm not a fan of the way they're handling the story in the game, but I'm super interested in the lore and the world. Like I love the lore of the game, and I love the world and like the characters and everything. I just like I'm just not a fan of the way they're telling the story. But I don't know. But that was Nani no Anime, episode 19, baby.
19
or 20. I don't know. I think it was 19. But seriously,
yeah, I think it's 19.
We'll see. But seriously, guys, if you're watching this on YouTube, let me know. Let us know your thoughts. If you guys would like to see this continue as a Genshin Impact podcast of sorts, I'm sure that me and SeeOhKnee like talking to each other. I'm sure we could find a random 30 minutes to do it each week or something. Because I don't think that it needs to be an hour long each time. Like the way I see it is like if we cut out the beginning part of the podcast and just went to Genshin, I think it would have been a solid 30 minutes.
I think so too. Yeah.
And let us know let us know your thoughts. You know what you think, what your thoughts are, what you think of the game, what your opinions are in the game, what you like to see come to the game. SeeOhKnee, where can they find you on the internet?
Basically just type in Google SeeOhKnee. I'm everywhere. Okay, it's easy.
There you go.
You know,
if you're listening to this and you don't know, I have multiple YouTube channels, but I don't feel like going through all of them. So RuffSenpai on YouTube, anime reactions. That's gonna be the main channel. That's for the Nani no Anime podcast. videos will be. We are also on podcast services around the globe: Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher. Literally search Nani no anime. We come right up. It's super easy. And
So good.
Yeah, nice and simple. So go check that out if you want some more anime content from me. If you want some Genshin Impact, I've already started doing a bunch of Genshin Impact videos on my brand new gaming channel, RuffSenpai Games. Just go check that out, RuffSenpai Space Games. I'm going to be definitely putting more on. I had a crazy pull today, so that's going to get made into a video, so expect that. But I definitely plan on doing more Genshin Impact videos, at least for as long as I enjoy the game and want to keep playing it. So go sub to that if you want to. But thank you guys so much for the love. We appreciate it, and we'll see you in the next episode of Nani no Anime.